Hey guys! So, as judging by what the title says, this video is going to be about how people think my Cool Crew project is a direct copy of Forsaken, and I'm just going to go into a quick deep dive on how it's not a copy of Forsaken, and how and why this project came to be. Well, first off, let's start off with why. Why did I make this project? There are many reasons why I made this project, and some of those reasons are regarding to drama in the Forsaken community. The first reason is I just found it to be really fun and a really interesting idea. I mean, it seems kind of interesting to, have my own spin on the characters and make my own stories with them and see, what I could do with them in order to make them interesting enough for me. And it just felt really cool to tinker with their designs to make them in my own picture, in my own image, just messing with the characters from the original franchise and putting my own spin on them is it just makes me feel happy. Reason number 2, this actually was supposed to be my own versions of the Forsaken characters, but I eventually dragged it away from Forsaken completely. I originally intended for, these characters to be related to Forsaken, just my own, designs of the characters or something, but the more I drew these characters and started thinking of their story, I was like, this isn't like Forsaken at all. So I just dragged it away from Forsaken completely and just made it my own thing. But since I didn't really intend that earlier in the Cool Crew, I have some prototypes. Yeah, here they are. Reason number 3, the more I adapted their story, the more I realized that this project was made to mock Forsaken. You see, I originally thought that this project would just be my own versions of the characters, but the more I, made their story, the more I expanded on the lore, I realized that this was not Forsaken at all. It was just its own thing. And then I eventually decided this project was made to mock Forsaken. It was made to, it was basically me laughing at how stupid the Forsaken fandom is now and just how uninteresting the lore has become, and just, this project was just a big slap in the face for the Forsaken community and the fandom, because it isn't really a pretty place. The game isn't really that pretty either, and the devs especially. We don't want to talk about the devs. They cost way too much, and it just I really just made this project to mock Forsaken and have fun while doing it. So, in summary, the Cool Crew project is not Forsaken. It's its own thing. You guys gotta realize that even if you're newer viewers, you still have to do your research when you see my stuff, because you can't assume, right away that this is a Forsaken copy. It's my own thing. It's my own project. It's my own something. My own series, I guess. But you still gotta understand that this was not intended to be a copy at all. This was just made for fun, and it was also made to mock Forsaken. There is literally no trace of Forsaken lore in this. If you dive deep enough and actually do your research, then you will see that there is absolutely no trace of Forsaken in here except for the character designs, which I purposefully made very different from the Forsaken characters, so people wouldn't say, ooh, this is a Forsaken copy. So yeah, don't assume stupid things. Actually do your research, okay? Actually do your research before saying anything, because you don't know shit. And before I go, I'm going to give you the characters' designs and how I made them and what they're based off of. So yeah. Starting off with Biggie / Brayden, one of the main characters. So Brayden's design is basically if you smushed Blue Dude, a nerd, and Doughy the Doughman together into one being. That's basically how his design came to be. And I also really like big people. I really like chubbier people. So that's just like, spreading awareness that there are different body types out there and that we are not all skinny, because some people think that everyone should be skinny for some reason. Everyone thinks that being fat or chubby is invalid, and this is basically just me having appreciation for different body types. That's why I made him chubby. And I made him British because I also like British people, and it seemed to really fit him. Next is Small Fry / Nathan. Honestly, Nathan's design isn't really based on anything. I just thought it would be, funny to make him short and a bit chubby. It also really looked cute, and I just also really wanted to go for, a more cartoony style, make it a bit more unique and original. And it's even funnier because his nickname is Small Fry, and he's a very short, pudgy person. And next is Sophia / Needle. Sophia is basically, a tall, lanky, pointy version of Pretty Princess. I honestly don't know how I came up with her design. I just looked at Pretty Princess and said, nah, she look ugly as shit. Let me make her actually look unique. And next is Caleb, the Changed Man. His past design, his abusive design, was actually just based off 007 and 7 from Forsaken, except I just made him look drunk and, abusive, because he used to be an abusive dad. And his current design, his not abusive design, his changed design, was actually made, I don't know, honestly. I just made him look nicer, and I changed his clothes. I made him look like an actually good dad, and I removed the burger hat because Caleb realized that, that burger hat looks ugly, it looks embarrassing, it humiliates him in public, so he just removed it. Yeah. And finally, Noli. I just thought Noli would be good as, a seraphim or a biblically accurate angel, because I felt like they would fit the role for, a god or guardian angel in a dreamcore / weirdcore world, which seemed pretty interesting to me. But other than that, I just randomly came up with her design. There was no set idea behind it. I just went with the flow. And the other characters, Devin, Margaret, and Harbor, I just randomly came up with their designs one day. There is no, prototypes or anything like that, no concepts, I just went with it. Anyways, that's it for the video. That is why I made the Cool Crew project and how it is not a copy of Forsaken. And if you're going to keep sending hate comments, you little idiots, I'm going to give you a pin of shame because I like to laugh at you. And you're basically in denial. You're denying the fact that this is not a copy of Forsaken. Anyways, goodbye!